Okay, I am here with a living legend all the way from New York City. Gypjaq, how you doing?
I'm doing extremely well. Just got off stage, sweaty as hell, but feeling great, feeling at home in New Zealand.
Now first, welcome to New Zealand.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me here. It's ridiculous.
How many days have you been here so far?
Oh, I haven't even been counting. Okay, so Thursday the 16th I arrived. What's today? The 22nd? So what's the math for that? 6 days.
Wow.
Yeah.
Have you done any touristy things like gone to the Sky Tower or anything like that?
No, I haven't seen the Sky Tower yet. I've seen it, but I haven't been inside it yet. What I did was my second day here, I saw Hot Brown Honey that play at the theater. What's it called? The Aotea Theater. Aotea Theater. Freaking ridiculous. So inspiring. Just made my trip even that more worthwhile and helped me focus my mission, and understand that what I'm doing is important just as a queer, gender not conforming, femme identified, artist. Hot Brown Honey. I mean, they need to bring that to New York ASAP, seriously.
So Mika brought you here. How did you meet Mika?
Well, my friend B Hawk asked me to come to a photo shoot for Ryan Turner's line that Mika was promoting and setting up. And I got down there and I was dressed. Mika was like, "Oh, you look fabulous, but we're going to put you in this Ryan Turner." And he threw me in these clothes that were freaking fantastic. I was like, "Oh, I need these." Wish I could have kept them. And, I was singing a cappella around because I can't help myself. If there's any point of silence, I'm going to sing. And he heard me and was like, "Oh, you do music?" And I gave him my website, gypjaq.com. And he went and saw all of my content and really just was like, "Hey, so you're perfect for my festival." And that was it. We literally met once and figured it out from there and used social media to continue to stay in contact.
Nice. So what's the New Zealand crowd like compared to the New York crowd?
Wow. New York, don't be mad at me. The New Zealand crowd is way more hype and they allow themselves to be affected by the vibrations of what you're giving them. They don't necessarily judge it before it starts. I feel like New York is a little jaded artistically, and they very much don't want to appear affected, even though sometimes they are. And they'll tell you after your show how well you did instead of showing you during your show. So you have to really give and bring your own energy. It's good training, for performing anywhere, because you really have to keep your own stamina up. You're not really getting fed any energy back, So I love New York for that because they prepared me for everything. But here was a little less work because it was okay, you guys are feeling me and I don't have to keep myself up. You know what I'm saying? I was getting fed back and the energy exchange was, equivalent. And that's a beautiful thing.
So you've got an album coming out soon. Tell us a little bit about that. Is it going to be on vinyl?
Everyone's been asking me to put it on vinyl, so I'm going to do it. I'm going to put it on vinyl for you guys. I'm going to figure out how to do it. I have a few friends that print vinyl. I actually have a record from my other pseudonym, Jack Fuller, called Borsellino, that's on vinyl, so it could happen for sure. It's called Anukai Genesis. Anukai is spelled ANVKAI. NV is the Greek syllable new. So I just use that because it just it looks cooler and it actually hints to a lot of other things that we can talk about, as the career and the message progresses. I don't think people are exactly ready for what that word hints to, but it's called Anukai Genesis. It's just about the birth of one's own self-awareness and love of self, and that ability to finally, after going through however many trials and tribulations, to look at yourself in the mirror and say that you're all I ever wanted at the end of the day.
Nice. And when you were performing just before, your music video was on screen and it looks amazing. When's everyone else going to get to see it?
As soon as possible. We're looking for blogs and different things to premiere it, and if we can't find anyone quite yet, we'll just do Facebook blasts and make sure everyone sees it. But it should be out within the week, actually, hopefully Friday. So fingers crossed, pray, ask people, type, be like, no, put this video out right now, so we can get it done. Afropunk, we looking at you.
Sweet. So people probably know you best from a song you did with Azalea Banks. How did you get to work with her?
Well, Azalea and I have known each other since we were in high school. I was a senior when she was coming into Fiorello H. LaGuardia High School for Music, Art, and the Performing Arts in Manhattan, also known as the Fame School. And, one day she was just... one day my friend Malik had this poem, and we were trying to work harmonies, and I was known in the school for putting together like crazy harmonies. And she was in there, and I heard her voice. I was just like listening to people sing so I could figure out where to put them. And I was just like, who are you? Why is your voice so like that? Why do you sound like you're 80 something years old and you're really like 12, So it was like, she was like 14, but like, she looked 12. It's like she's going to always look so young, And from there on, we clicked, nailed it, got it together. She was one of my background vocalists before she blew up and, wrote 212 and became such a big celebrity herself. And then from there, she gave me a call to come help finish Broke with Expensive Taste with her. So there were these 3 songs that she just needed a little help on, Miss Amore, Miss Camaraderie, and Soda. And got out there, was doing that, started rapping a little bit and like writing and thinking of like possibly getting into commentating, which is the Vogue art of freestyle rap. So like the guy on the mic making the Vogue dancers like really feel themselves is a commentator. And I rapped it for her. She was like, oh yeah, that's dope, whatever. But then I got to my friend Lawless, Stephanie Lawrence, Lawless is her stage name, to make this beat, and she made this crazy nuts beat that's that Blown Away is on. And I wrote the whole song and came to the studio one day to work on Broke with Expensive Taste and played it for her, and Azalea just went nuts and was like, this is some shit that nobody's doing, Jack, like I need to get on a verse. And she hopped in the studio that second and spit bars, and it was a rap, and we did a video, and that was it. And it was like when things started really turning around,
Nice. So, are you ever going to do a song with Mika?
That would be awesome. I think we tried to figure out how we were going to do like a remix or some kind of thing while I was here, but both of us are so busy. He's been busy with the rest of the festival and things of that nature, and he's been setting me up to meet so many people and like really helping me get my name out there, and that's been taking up a lot of our time, so we haven't even been able to get into the studio yet. But even if we have to do it from overseas, like across seas, we'll get it done for sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Sweet. All right, well, thanks for your time.
Thank you. Thank you, Tyler. Oh my God. Thank you guys so much for having me. Thank you guys for just being open to such strangeness. Like we're weird out here, and I'm glad to bring the kind of weird that Harlem is and has been known to perpetuate, even through gentrification over here. I'm so glad to bring it over here. It's so great to see Vogue out here and like to see people doing such good Vogue. Like it's not fake, it's really authentic, and that's what matters. No one cares how stretched your leg is. No one cares how pointed your foot is. It's like, are you here to let loose? And I've seen so many people just put it all out on the floor, and it gives me so much joy. I'm about to cry. I'm trying not to cry.
That's the best thing about you, that you're humble, and that's rare to find in artists nowadays.
Thank you.
Nowadays, people are less humble as soon as they climb the ladder.
Man, I mean, none of us can say that we deserve any of the blessings that we get. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, if we say that we don't deserve any of the bad stuff that happens to us, which everyone says, oh, I didn't deserve blah blah blah, which is like not something to say you did some fucked up shit that you deserve that shit for. But for the most part, like, we just have to be grateful for our blessings and hope to expound them by including other people in our blessings. And that's all I hope to do, is like continue to build the Anukai tribe and continue to foster the message that we live authentically, because that's what true freedom is, living a true life.
Okay, I have one last question for you. Okay, is there any message or advice that you would like to give all the young artists out there or young people chasing their dreams?
That's so hard because the industry is not necessarily for artists right now. So if you are an artist, I would say figure out where your community is, because that's where we thrive, is when we find a community that understands what we're doing, that needs what we're doing, and is willing to support what we're doing, versus trying to fit into an industry that doesn't necessarily want new shit, you know? So just live as authentically as possible. Figure out what it is that you actually want. You know, do you want to be in the industry or do you want to create art? And then from there, move. If you want to be in the industry, then understand that you got to fit into certain boxes. If you want to create art, you might just change the entire industry by being yourself. So just be yourself, tell the truth, give the people what they want, which is essentially what's in your heart, not what's in your head, you know, and let it all out.
Awesome.
Tylor and Luke. Woohoo!